Hello and welcome.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast show. Arthur Renwick returns. He is back for our listening and viewing pleasure. Welcome back, Arthur.
Thank you, Mark. Long time no see.
It's been a year.
Has it been a full year?
I'll have to check the date on the last show, but I think it's about a year now.
Couple of years?
No, it's been a year. You were on the show last year, remember?
Wow. This time?
Yeah, we talked about, we had a lot of things talked about. Your political career, the Kiss songs that you know, and a bunch of other stuff.
Awesome.
So, but you're in town because you were seeing your daughter at a Soul Pepper production.
That's right.
Would you tell us about it?
Yeah, the play's called Where the Blood Mixes. She just did her last show on Sunday and got rave reviews, and I realized that I couldn't miss it, so I came out to visit her and I caught the show on Saturday night. Made me cry 3 times. She did give me fair warning. She said, bring tissue.
Okay.
I didn't, so I had to use my sleeve, unfortunately. But salt water never hurt nobody.
That's right.
And yeah, it was a really beautiful play. It was funny. And then it packs a wallop, which was really great to see her tackling these really difficult scenes. It's about a girl who's estranged from her family. She's Native.
Okay.
Her mother dies when she's young and gets adopted out.
Oh. Gets
taken away, basically.
Okay.
And then, meanwhile, the whole plot, the first half of the play, well, it starts off with my daughter singing a song.
Okay.
On this spinning platform, and it's a beautiful song. Live music, guy playing guitar, dressed all in white with a hat.
Okay. I saw some of the pictures, like the stills from the show.
Yeah, it's all live music.
Right.
So yeah, she sings a song, and then she goes off the stage, and the plot, the stage plot is 2 guys from the res, hanging out in this bar and just sharing stories, and a bartender. So it's just a 3-piece for the first half, and they're talking about a lot of things about themselves growing up, and you start piecing it together, the character development, and then you discover that my daughter's role is this young woman trying to find her family again, and she finds out where her father lives, and goes up there to meet him.
Okay.
So all that's really fine and dandy.
Okay.
And then it sort of reaches this, the father's all excited that his daughter's going to be arriving any minute, and he dresses up, and it's a really exciting moment, and everybody feels for him because you have sympathy towards him because you like the character. But then him and his best friend get into a fist fight, and he's beating the shit out of his best friend just when his daughter walks in.
Oh, no.
And it's like brutal.
Wow.
And the father's embarrassed, and at this whole thing, he feels shame, and he tells his daughter to go away.
Oh, no.
I was like, wow, what?
Wow, gee.
And the emotion that she emoted.
Right.
And that sort of, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Oh, wow, okay.
So then there's the journey of her trying to win his favor back, and him trying to come to terms with who he is as a man, and what he's done with his life, and feeling guilt, and and then in the end they realized it wasn't either of their faults. It was the system that took her away. Had nothing to do with his decision.
Right.
He didn't give her up. They took her.
Right.
So yeah, and it has a beautiful resolve.
Okay.
I think in the end.
Okay.
Craig Lazon's in it.
Craig, that's right. He's a frequent guest on the podcast show, actually. Yeah. Well, he's been on here twice, I guess.
Yeah. If he's listening, hey, Craig, good job, man.
And he's the captain or something of some rugby team. We'll get to him later. We'll visit him again.
You can talk
later.
about Craig with Craig.
That's right. So, and there was, who was playing the guitar, you said?
I can't remember his name. I actually didn't meet him.
Okay.
But, good talent. Like people were saying he sounded like Neil Young from the Dead Man soundtrack.
Okay, right.
But I would say to me it sounded more like Daniel Lanois.
Oh, okay.
From his Acadie.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
There's a couple of tracks on there that it really reminded me.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, a lot of delay. Fender Strat through
right.
big amp. And
I love delays. I got like a bunch here that I own. Yes. But you're not so much an effect person on your guitar sound.
Well, I am now.
You are now?
Yes.
That's right, because you have a new project.
Because the pandemic.
Oh, because of the pandemic. It forced you into guitar effects.
Yeah. For the longest time, I took great pride in that the only pedal I had was a tuner. And now I got a rack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had to do something, keep myself busy.
Okay.
And so I bought a bunch of pedals. I got a flashback.
Digital delay.
Right. I got the carbon copy and octave distortion.
Wow.
3 distortion pedals. I've got
oh my goodness!
Like
you've gone overboard
Ibanez, now. And I've got a
tube screamer.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now you're talking my language.
And also the blues, the Boss blues.
Okay. Right.
And what else is there? I'd like to a chorus. I'll throw that in there every once in a while. When I want to get really spacey with the carbon copy and. Sure. Yeah, have fun with it.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I use it just to sort of trail off songs and get it all psychedelic and float people into space.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, my last record was all about space.
I know.
As we built the spaceship here.
Yes, that's right.
That we travel in.
I've been following your posts there, sir.
Right, so the new stuff that you're writing incorporates these effects?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhat.
And when did you start this new project?
During the pandemic, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, some buddies of mine in Kitimat had a basement rehearsal space. They're called the Rats. Shout out to the Rats.
Okay.
My buddies Josh and Murph, Dusty, and Kyle. Yeah, they're awesome dudes. Awesome dudes. And yeah, they were making music throughout the COVID, and they have it's like a bar concert space. They got drums up on a platform.
Oh, right. Okay.
And when they do their gigs, they bring their own sound gear for the stage. So they've got it all set up, and they use inner ear.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're very well organized.
Oh, yeah. They're all like old pros from decades of touring.
Right.
Punk bands and whatever.
Okay, great.
Yeah. They're pretty awesome guys. So, yeah, there was a little safe haven for a while to sort of explore music, and I started playing around, and I realized that with the songs that I've got, I've always been playing solo. Always thought it was because I didn't get along with anybody, but I've realized, I don't get along with anybody.
You don't get along? Okay. That's what we heard, too.
I'm very difficult, Yeah, high maintenance. Can you tell?
Yes. No.
My barber comes with me everywhere I go. We started hanging out, and I started thinking about it more, and then with this political thing that I'm doing.
That's right. Are you still? You're still the DC, the deputy chief.
Exactamundo.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Still doing that.
Okay.
We'll leave that for a little while.
Okay.
Let's stay focused on the music.
We'll get back to that.
The musics.
Yeah.
So, sort of when I started playing these songs and getting into the riffs and then hearing how the band responded to it, I started liking it more. And I thought, wow, this is exciting. It sort of beefs everything up now. And I kind of in that phase now where I want to make a lot of noise after the pandemic.
Of course. I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot more like rock records, I think, coming out.
Well, another buddy of mine who used a lot of pedals is now strictly doing acoustic.
Oh.
Sean Pynchon.
Oh, went the opposite route.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Huh.
So, it's been, everybody goes through their transition. And I was hanging out with my nephew a lot. And he would come out, like during the pandemic, this pub that I had been making music at Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
And that's Geordie's Pub?
Shout out to Geordie's.
That's right. We follow your posts as well, so...
Yeah, Thursday nights is open mic, so I invite people to do their own music.
Great.
And then Friday, Saturday, I do my stuff. But my nephew, Warren Campbell Jr., he started coming out over a number of years now. Like I used to play there every year for the month of August. For about 10 years now. It'll be 10 years this summer.
Wow.
But my mom, I think I told the last time, my mom had strokes and I had to stay home. Right. And I've been making music there ever since. And him and I started working on the songs that I'd always played, but with him, it gave an added character to it, and he started fitting himself into it. And it was kind of funny because all these songs that I was playing were covers, but they're my own versions.
Okay.
And he's actually probably never heard any of the originals except for one of the original author.
And what are some of the covers? What are some of the songs?
Well, there's Tom Waits. I do a couple of Tom Waits songs, one off of Rain Dogs, Gun Street Girl, and one off of Mule Variations. I sing Get Behind the Mule, and my version's pretty far from his, especially Get Behind the Mule. You'd never recognize it. I could put my own lyrics into it and it'd make it my own song if I wanted to. But,
you could.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't.
Right.
Leave
well,
it
then
as it is.
You don't want someone to come knocking on your door like some sort of, cease and desist letter too.
Well, it's so far away. Like the music is different too.
Okay. Wow. So there you go. So really, it's just like the chords and arrangements that are the same.
Yeah, I'm not good at copying people. I never have been. I can imitate their character as a comedian. But when it comes to music, I cover Bob Dylan and Tom Waits and Neil Young, and I don't sing like them. I sing like myself. So
Right.
I had a funny situation recently where I was playing at Wee Geordie's and said, I want to sing you a Neil Young song. And I sang the song, what was it called? Unknown Legend. Down, 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 that riff. Sang the whole thing, and at the end of it, okay, yeah, that was a Neil Young song. And then somebody in the audience said, no, that wasn't. Like, no, that was a Neil Young. That wasn't Neil Young. So, yes, it was. Not even close. It's like, okay, well, that was my version of a Neil Young song. Yeah, don't say it was Neil. That wasn't Neil. Okay. I said, okay, well, the next song is a song by Arthur Renwick. I don't know if you've heard of him, but this sounds exactly like Arthur Renwick.
And at the end of the song, that doesn't sound like Arthur Renwick.
Who the hell is that guy? Oh, I don't know, some asshole. Stay far away from him.
Right, well, that's always tough. And do you handle hecklers well like that, or
sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it's gone to the point where there's a lot of transition workers in our town right now with this LNG project.
Okay,
I call them camp guys.
I see.
They fly right in from Alberta or the East Coast, and they come in making demands.
Oh, I see.
There's always an alpha dog wearing a white T-shirt, tight white T-shirt with tattoos, muscular, short cropped hair with some facial scruff going in. Play Simple Man. In front of all of his buddies, and I'll always go, no, sorry, I don't do covers. Come on, you gotta know Simple Man. Yes, I know a lot of Simple Men, but I'm not one of them.
Okay, right.
But they keep coming back, and then I say, okay, like with a number of guys that are saying this, I'll play it, but the price is $1,200, and then I'll sing it for you.
Okay, right.
Wagon Wheel's $800, but it's climbing.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. And is anyone taking you up on the...
Somebody's going to do a fundraiser, but it hasn't happened yet.
Okay, great. Great. So what would you do for $2,000 then?
I'd leave my pants on.
Okay. Okay. I meant material-wise.
Pants are material.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. $2,000.
Right. Are there any covers that you would attempt to do more as a challenge? Not because anyone's paying you, but you thought, wow, that'd be a cool cover song or a challenge to do.
I have started playing the only song that I learnt during the pandemic. Okay. The only song that I learnt that wasn't mine.
Which one was that?
Mr. Bojangles.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a beauty. And I learned it before Jerry Jeff Walker died. He died recently.
Right.
It was just a song that I did a podcast with a guy in Terrace.
Okay.
My neighboring community. He's a musician as well. Shout out to Adam Shaw. And he did a little series of local musicians, and he brought me in there. And he asked me, and I caught myself off guard because I don't even know where it came from. But he asked me the question, if there's any song that you could have written, what would it be? And my answer was Mr. Bojangles. Really? And I didn't even realize I don't even know where that came from. And
wow, okay. And that would be the song? I would pick something like Yesterday by the Beatles because you make all that money from the royalties. Or Okay, Fair enough.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful story. Like, he was in jail. And it was based on a guy that was right in front of him, and he wrote the song in front of the guy that he's singing about. Yeah.
Okay.
And, there's another story that Todd Snyder, another amazing singer-songwriter, was hanging out with him in Europe.
Okay.
And they said they had way too many drinks, and they're walking out from the pub, and there's some busker singing Mr. Bojangles.
Oh.
And they walked right up to him, and Todd said, I stood right beside Jerry while he's watching this guy do a version of his song, congratulated him, gave him some money, and then walked away. And I thought for sure he would say, I'm the guy that wrote the song, but he didn't even do that. He just walked away.
Okay.
And he said, I was beside myself because I wanted to tell the guy, this is the guy.
Right.
But he's there, so I just figured he would do it, and he didn't. And I had to walk away with him, not letting the guy know that he actually wrote that song.
Right.
Yeah. So,
well, maybe you'll do that one day too.
Yeah.
Someone will be covering your song, and we'll be walking together, and I'll say, hey, do you know who wrote that song? He's right here.
It's going to go all night. That one's got legs.
Okay.
That song I wrote, yeah.
Right.
It's a favorite for many people.
So the new stuff that you're writing, we were talking before we went live in front of the cameras, but you're looking at putting out an EP in the near future of new material? Okay.
Yeah. This guy I'm working with, Jay Hughes, shout out to Jay. He's a drummer for a project back home, and it was his suggestion. He thought, you know what we got to do is do a 5-song EP, get some videos, get it out there, and let's tour.
Right.
Because he's in a position where he can just pick up and go. He owns his own business.
Sure.
He's a shredder.
Okay.
On drums as well as documents.
Document shredder. Okay, I was trying to. He's like a heavy metal band guy.
Yeah,
okay, right,
he can play anything. He just did a gig with a rapper.
Oh,
yeah, some hip hop dude.
Hip hop, right?
Yeah,
not like a rapper.
Candy rapper. No. Weed
that's
rapper.
great.
I don't know.
And sorry, what's the name of the new project?
This project I have is called Orphan Wells.
Orphan Wells. Okay. Not Orson Welles, Orphan Wells.
That's right.
Great. And what's the significance behind the name, or it's just a play on words? Or
yeah, it is a play on words. I love that people think Orson Welles immediately and they laugh. Oh, that's funny, because it's meant to be. That's sort of the first hook, because Orson Welles did Citizen Kane, which is considered the greatest film that's ever been made.
Okay.
And Orphan Well is a term that I heard at in a meeting with a joint venture that the Haisla Nation has. They're called Leadcore, and we're having this discussion, and it's discussing the LNG project that's happening up there, and they're talking about where they were going to source the natural gas from to bring it down to Kitimat. And he said, yeah, well, up in the Blueberry Nation, First Nation, there's a lot of orphan wells. And when I heard that, I said, excuse me? What did you say? Orphan wells. And I said, what is that? And he said, well, they're abandoned natural gas mines. Nobody owns them, and there's still gas in them, but they're orphan.
Okay.
And I said, orphan wells. And he said, orphaned, ED. And I said, okay, orphan wells. And he's going like, I said, footnote that. I'll get back to you on that. And then sure enough, I made up hats.
Okay.
Orphan wells, and I would show up at these meetings after that.
Right.
And they would look at that like, and it said Orphan Wells in red in Western style text. And this one guy, he's about 6'3", looking down at me with his head this close to my.
Right.
Looking at, and he said, "What business is that? Is that a business?" I said, "Yeah, it's my business." He said, "Well, what kind of business?" And I said, "Music business. It's the name of my band." And he laughed hysterically. And then he said, "Hey, guys." And then they're all laughing hysterically. And they said, and I said, I was wondering if it was incorrect or whether, they might be offended. But they said, you're going to have a lot of fans on the East Coast and as well as in Alberta.
Okay.
Of this. Like, if that's the name of your band, they're going to want to hear it.
Great.
Because there's a lot of people out of work in the industry.
I see.
Yeah. So it was kind of...
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, what are your songs about then, material-wise or substance-wise?
Well, the first song I wrote is called Rock Bottom. We recorded that yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're recording with, do you want to give a plug?
Yeah, Derek Downham.
Okay,
man.
Derek.
He's in the studio right now fixing up Rock Bottom as we speak.
All right. And that's not Rock Bottom by Ace Frehley and Kiss and those guys.
Rock Bottom.
That's right. It's not that one.
No,
Okay.
we did have that discussion, though.
Oh, did? Okay, great.
The title, actually, I didn't have that title at first. This is my buddy Brent Diabo.
Okay, Brent.
Diabo, however you want to say it, Brent.
Mm-hmm.
He and I had a hangout a couple of nights ago, and I played the song for him, and it needed a bridge. So we sat there and we talked about it, and he said, "Man, this is about hitting rock bottom." And I said, "There we go." So I kept that.
Okay.
But the lyric is, first line, I followed the whiskey and the whiskey let me down. I followed the whiskey and the whiskey let me down. I followed the whiskey and the whiskey let me down. Down, 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 down. And I followed the money let me down. I followed the money and the money let me down. I followed the money and the money let me down. Down, 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 down. So then with Derek, when we got in there, I said, I got this, and I got a couple other verses. It needs a bridge. And he helped me make sense of it, tie it all together, all of those themes into a bridge, which is short. And then we clicked back into, I followed religion, and religion let me down. Followed religion, religion let me down. I followed religion, religion let me down.
Right.
Down, 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 down. I followed love, and love let me down. So he goes through all of that, and then there's a second bridge that ties all of that together.
Okay.
And the first line of that is, goddamn hypocrites, making me, like, try. And so it sort of ties that up. You'll have to listen to the track to get the rest of the lyrics.
All right.
But then the last verse is, I followed the drugs, and the drugs let me down. And it finishes off with that, with a big close, and then a really loud scream, and then the song is done.
Okay.
That's Orphan Wells.
Wow, I can't wait to hear that. That sounds very exciting. Everything from the name to how you just described this song going.
Yeah.
And what's the instrumentation? Is it like full band instrumentation?
Full band,
okay.
yeah. Laying all the tracks right now with my Cigar Box guitar.
Okay, right.
It's the main voice.
Right.
So that track I sent you, that
That's right.
That's Cigar Box guitar.
It sounds great. Yeah. I love that guitar.
Yeah, it's got national strings on it. I got to go get some national strings after this.
Great. And you just buy those anywhere?
No.
You can't? Oh, my goodness. You
12th fret.
Oh, you got to go 12th fret.
Yeah, you can't get them anywhere else in Canada but 12th fret.
Really?
They ship them in from the UK.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm excited about it. And with Derek, him and I have known each other for such a long time. I think, when was it? It's funny, the first time him and I had a conversation, it was at his open mic at the Axis Grill in the Junction.
Right.
Tuesday night. I think that's the first time we had a conversation. I showed up with my dobro.
Right.
And I opened it up, and he didn't really know me, but I knew who he was. And he looked at it, and he said, "Oh, that's really nice." And he could see the craggle. Like, what year is that? And I'm just sort of taken out of the case. And I said, "Oh, this one, yeah, man. I've had this for a while. This one's like from the 1900s." And he said, "Oh, yeah, like when?" I said, 1994, I think. And he laughed hysterically. He said, "Oh, you got me." I said, "I'm going to use that." And I said, "Okay, just give me credit."
Okay.
And then, we've been very good friends ever since. And I played, I showed him the riff for this one song. He was on drums. And it was a song I wrote off my first album called, what is it called?
Your first, isn't it called Cigar Box Chronicles?
Is the first album.
That's right, yeah.
And the track is, it's in G, the key of G.
Oh, that one.
And it drops a beat.
Okay.
Anyhow, I can't remember.
Well, neither can I. I didn't write the song.
Well, Mama raised
You're lucky
me
I
with
got the
best
title of the album.
intentions. Miscast youth, I spent it in detention. I toe the line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the first song we played together. And it drops a beat, and he's like, "Oh, I love that song, man." So every time I went there, I had to play that song.
Derek doesn't actually talk like that, by the way.
No, I know. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah, totally.
We're having a lot of fun. And he gets what I'm doing with my music, and he's pieced it all together in a short period of time.
Right. Well, he's also a very gifted musician himself. It seems like this is like a natural for him
drummer,
as well, too, right?
Keyboards, you name it. probably even plays accordion if you gave it to him.
Okay.
Yeah. He's really quite talented, and he's an amazing songwriter as well. Producer now. He's doing a lot of production.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of good things. He's
Good.
Awesome guy.
So
Good
this is
friend.
going to be a touring act, as you said. Like once the
Eventually.
record comes out, you're hoping to do some shows as a band. Of course, you're going to tour as a.
Well, the first step is to get the EP done, get some
Right.
videos done. Hoping to have that done by the end of the summer.
Right.
And then after that, we got a couple of, just by word of mouth, a couple of festivals that we're doing.
Okay.
Northern BC,
Great.
Kispiox, Folk Valley,
Right.
Folk Music. Kispiox Valley Folk Music Festival, something like that.
And that's in northern BC.
Yes.
In Kispiox.
In
is what you're-
Kispiox,
okay, right.
yeah. Yeah, I think so.
All right.
It would make sense that the Kispiox Folk
That's
Fest
right.
would be in
Kispiox, that's
Kispiox.
right. And when is that happening?
July.
July. Okay. So that's coming up very soon.
Yes.
Holy moly. Okay.
Yeah, and with the band, like everybody's got on different schedules, so it's hard for us to get together, guys. We got to get it together. Josh and Warren, my nephew Warren, he's moved on. He's started up his own band.
Okay.
A little 3-piece that he's doing. Maybe he'll come back into the fold again. I'm not sure. It'd be nice if he did. But I got another guy, Mike Jacobs, who works for Haisla Nation Council as well.
Okay.
He's the manager of the fisheries department.
Okay.
Awesome dude. And he plays with feel. He's like my age, and he's been playing for a very long time.
Okay.
Writes a lot of his own tunes.
Right.
Mike Jacobs. Yeah,
Okay.
one of the songs I want to cover is actually one of his that he wrote called
Oh, great.
One Horse Town.
Okay. And that's on a record of his. We can
Nope.
check. Oh, it's not. Okay.
Nope, it's a song he sings at the open mics that have been running, and that's where
Okay.
I first heard it. And now, I think we're going to bring it into the fold of Orphan Wells because it seems to suit the theme.
Okay.
The theme.
So, how would you describe your music? Say you're on the list, the marquee, or in a program, Orphan Wells. What's the one or two sentences that describe what the music is and who you are?
Tragedy and joy? I don't know.
Tragedy and joy. All in the key of G, or these are minor keys? It seems like these are more minor key
The
songs.
key of
Right?
E. Or A?
Yeah,
I don't know. G.
but they're going to
What
be
a D.
But it'll be great.
Yeah.
We know again because a lot of stuff. I mean, I've always been a big fan of your what you write and how you play.
You
and
weren't a
everything
big
else.
fan?
No,
Oh, okay.
not before the Cigar Box Chronicles. Then that turned me on to you.
Aha. Okay.
So there you go. I was more into your into your comedian work prior to that. From your stand-up
That stand-up
specials.
show, yeah. All the stories I could tell.
That's right. Oh, I know. I know.
Yeah.
It'll be a whole other special.
Sure. Real special.
We'll save that for the documentary. And you're still actively involved in your community as well.
Oh,
obviously,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's taking up most of my time right now.
Right.
It's been good. Like, it's been good for me. Like, the community's always been there for me and supported everything that I've done over the years.
Right.
Over the past 50 or so decades.
Right.
It just the opportunity came to help out with stuff and take charge and give back to the community that's always supported me and the community that I love. It's not easy. It's like, you don't always get along with all your family.
No, of course not.
And but that's okay. Like, that's fine. You just work through it and just be kind, be patient, listen.
Right.
And try to understand and then keep moving forward and always look for solutions.
Right.
To any kind of situation you find yourself in.
Right. Because I think last time you were here, you mentioned the community's thriving.
Oh, huge time.
Right.
Yeah. Lots are going on.
Sure.
Yeah, we're quite gifted right now. I don't know if it's blessed, but gifted with a lot of prosperity. And we're turning it into good things.
That's good. And that's because of the solid leadership and the support of the community that makes this all happen? Okay.
Yeah, people voice what what they need and what they want. Like, before I got on the council, everybody said, we need housing. Well, and sure enough, when LNG showed up, prices went through the roof. Like, what used to be like a $500 or $700 apartment became $2,500.
Wow.
homes as well. Like,
So how
just
did
ridiculous.
they kind of resolve that
They
challenge?
bought us 8 apartment buildings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the downtown core, and purchased it outright, and now provide $700 a month rental, 2-bedroom rentals for Haisla members for our community.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
it's a really positive thing, but of course there was kickback. What are you doing spending our money on crappy buildings like that? But we renovated everything.
Right.
And did what the community wanted. They
That's
wanted
right.
housing, and sure enough, like, it came at a good time. And there's a lot of, like, there's 80 units, I think,
Okay.
provided to our community members, and they have
Right.
a home. And so we don't hear too much about it anymore. But it was hard at first, But then I think a lot of it is just communication on the band council's part, like getting the information out there, and don't surprise people with, like, oh yeah, by the way, we did this.
Right.
Let's actually talk to them about it first, and then do it. Anyhow, that's what I first walked into, the very first community meeting. There was a lot of raised voices at that
Okay.
one. Yeah, it was quite interesting. I just sat back and watched. It's like, okay, this is the community dynamics. A lot of people have been born and raised there, and they've
Right,
gone on
sure.
holidays, but they've never lived anywhere else.
Right.
So there's a vested interest,
Right.
of course.
It's a rather large community, I think you mentioned. It's what's the size roughly?
No, it's about, on the res, probably 500 to 800.
Oh, 500 to 800. Okay, for some reason I thought it was in like 2,000. I'm thinking of somewhere else. Okay.
All around the world, there's a maximum of 2,000 Haislas that exist on this earth.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. I'm one of them.
You are.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm 1,999.
There you go. We'll fact check that later, people. whether or not that's the number, yeah. But sure, that sounds.
We're certainly
Could
not
be
a
true,
dying
yeah,
breed
right.
because our population has increased huge in the last decade or so.
I see. All right.
Yeah, like rabbits,
I can imagine. I can only imagine.
There's a lot of love out there.
Right. So this is something you're going to stay with for a while now, helping out the community, being on
I have
the
one
band
more year on my
council?
term.
One more year. Okay.
I'm going to do this album, see where that goes.
Okay.
If anything, like, I'd still like to be a part of the council.
Sure.
But I don't know whether I could do deputy chief again for another term.
Right. Must be a lot of responsibility that comes
Huge,
with that.
yeah. It's a lot of meetings and stuff.
Right.
Like, I'm playing hooky right now,
Okay.
but I had to be here for my daughter, and I needed to just do something for my own mental health and focus on something that
course.
I wanted to do. That,
That's right.
this is what if I wasn't working on council, I'd be doing this full time, but I can't do this full time right now because I've
Right.
got other responsibilities, which
Right.
is a good thing.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I guess once the album comes out or the EP, you'll be touring. Any other sort of big plans for Arthur Renwick and your music in the coming year? Because things are starting to slowly open now with COVID.
Yes.
A lot of things we weren't even sure if there would be any venues hosting shows or festivals hosting artists this year, but it looks like things are slowly opening up. So is that something you imagine that's going to happen in the future? You're going to serve maybe your term
Another year.
as
Well, I think I'll have to. I don't know. I think Kitimat's always going to be my home base,
Okay.
especially as long as my mom's alive, because she
Right,
needs
right.
care
Of
daily.
course.
She needs somebody there to help her with things,
Right,
because she
right,
can't. She has trouble walking right now. She'd had a number of strokes, and that incapacitated her. But she has her mind back and her sense of humor.
right.
Like just the other day, it's like she got up and she was moving, and she said, "Sometimes I feel like a cupala." And I said, "What is a cupala?" And she looked at me and she said, "A snail." And I said, "Oh no, Ma, I don't think you're a snail. Maybe more like a turtle." And I said, "Have you ever heard that joke about the snail?" And she was like, "No." I said, "Well, this snail walks into a bar, and it's on the bar, and calls the bartender over and said, 'Can I get a drink, please?' And the bartender said, 'I'm sorry, we don't serve snails.' And he grabs a snail and whips it out the door. It's like 6 months later, the snail comes back to that same bartender and says, 'What did you do that for?'"
Okay. Yes, this is the
Just a little
material.
bit,
That's good. Yes. It reminds me of that joke. We're going to tell snail jokes, where the snail goes to the auto shop and he wants his car painted, And he goes, "Yeah, can you do me a favor? Can you also paint a whole bunch of S's all over the car?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, whatever. You're paying for it." So then the snail picks up the car and he's driving away, and it's got all the S's. And then someone, as they see him driving by, goes, "Hey, look at that S car go."
Dad jokes.
Yes, that'll be a special podcast special. We'll do 2 hours straight of dad jokes. That'll be on later. No, Laura's shaking her head. Okay, that show's been axed. Okay.
Well, it was funny because my mom, she it took her a second, but then she started laughing. And I said, "Yeah, Ma, more like a turtle. What's the Haisla word for turtle?" And she said, "I don't know."
Okay.
But when she said that, she kind of looked like a turtle. I think she was imitating a turtle.
Oh, there you go. Very good.
I love my Ma. By the way, that joke was, I have to give credit where credit's due. That was from Sarah Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
And I forget who told me the S-card joke. That was a long time ago. It could have been my dad, actually, for all I know. Well, that's great. So you're in town only for a short time, then you're gone. But you are doing a show, I see, at the Cameron House.
Yeah, on Wednesday.
Okay.
I did a show at the Tennessee, or it's called the Tenny now.
Okay.
Yeah, which should be mentioned because it's a new music venue in Parkdale, not far from here.
Right, and that's the old Mitzi's
sister.
Right, okay, right.
It used to be the Tennessee, then it was Mitzi's sister, then it was the Tennessee, now it's called Tenny's. TNNY''S.
Okay.
And I got a message from Miles Lacroix. Lacroix?
Okay.
He's a manager for there, but he also manages Say What.
Oh,
books gigs there for people, and he's the booker for Tenny's now, and he's the one who reached out to me. "Hey, we got a stage here. If you want, open slot. I saw you're in town. Want to come by, make some music?"
Oh, great.
So, when I left Toronto, it was like when you played bars and pubs and whatnot, it was always a pass the hat kind of thing, which is it's kind of like demoralizing for musicians to walk around begging for money. Mm-hmm. And Miles is aware of that, so he talked to the owners and he said, "Let's pay them a flat rate and don't ask anything," which is what they're doing. And that's what I do up at Wee Geordie's. The bartender pays me, the bar owner pays me flat rate, and there's no cover charge.
That's perfect. That's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what he's got that running, and he's just starting to book acts. They've got two stages.
Okay.
There's the one professional stage in the back with the lights and the stage and monitors and everything.
Right.
Stage gear, and there's a mixing board up front.
Right.
So there's always somebody mixing it. Who's Miles? He does sound.
Okay.
And then there's a front window stage, which is a little thing for like solo people and duos.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a little bit raised platform with surrounded by windows, so it catches people.
I see.
They'll see music and it draws people in.
Oh, okay.
Which is exactly what happened at my gig. Like the doors were open and I was playing, and people were just streaming in because they heard the music out into the street.
Right. Okay.
And you get a good view of the bar, and it's a really nice seating area. And it was fun. It was a good turnout, and people appreciated the music. And Tennies, they treat musicians
that's good to know.
Respect musicians.
Yeah.
And pay them accordingly.
There should be more venues that do that. That should be a standard, and it should become a new standard. And that's something that all musicians, we should be demanding that as well.
Yeah.
That's great. So Cameron, that's on Wednesday
night, 9
o'clock.
9 p.m. to 12, yeah.
And is that in the front room or the back room?
Front room.
And you're playing with a band, or you're playing solo? Or?
Tally, he's managing Cameron House right now. He asked me to perform Wednesday nights with a band if possible. Mm-hmm. He's seen me perform solo before, but he figured it'd be better for me if I had more noise, probably because so it carries out in the street, I would guess. I don't know. Sure. But yeah, I found a drummer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be working with Matt Greco, and he's going to be drumming with me. I've seen him perform with other players. He's from Peterborough. Lived there for many years, played with all of the Peterboroughites, Sean and all those guys.
Okay,
Conway.
Right, that's right.
A lot of other people with Brent Diabo as well. And he's moved to town, and he's looking for work. And I couldn't resist. I sort of teased him when he said that he could do the gig, and my buddies were sitting there, Brent and Clayton Yates. Mm-hmm. Yo, guys. I said, I'm gonna pull his chain.
Huh.
I said, what? I said, and I sent him a text. Hey, can you wear a full suit and a cowboy hat? And he's like, I think I got an old Western style blazer. The pants don't fit me anymore since pandemic. I might be able to find a hat. And I said, awesome. And I let him hang for a while. And I said, no, I'm just kidding. I'm wearing a Canadian tuxedo, dress comfortably.
Okay. Right. That's
it's
great.
to play drums, you know.
That's right. No, because drummers, they work, they have all the energy and.
Well, yeah, he's got to he's the other half of the band.
That's right.
Well, if he wants to wear a suit and cowboy hat.
If you want, sure. You're more than welcome to. So it's all new material, a mix of old and new you'll be doing?
Yeah. There's some of the standards that people like to hear, like do the Bukowski. It's going to go all night. They're crowd pleasers and sing-alongs. Be doing that. It's probably I Toe the Line. But I've got, a bunch of other tunes that I love playing now in the set.
And did you bring your guitar effects pedals for the show?
No.
Or no? Okay.
No. Do you have any?
I got there's a whole bunch of it. There might be some lying around.
You're supposed to go like.
That's right. Well, that's great. We're probably going to come down, right, to see the show, I believe. Okay, great. And we encourage everyone else to come see the show. So maybe set up, we're kind of to the end of the show now, so maybe set up, you're going to do a song for us.
Yes.
So maybe set that up as to what the song is.
I mean, I had to think about this before this interview.
I know, that's right.
I'm not sure what.
We can splice the interview together so it looks like that.
Yeah.
You're not thinking too long. Imagine 5 minutes goes by. So.
I'll definitely sing a song.
Okay. All right, you're going to definitely sing a song. All right, so when we return, Arthur Renwick will be singing a song. There you go. That's perfect.
That's what it sounds like when she's getting you back in line, eh?
Yeah. Oh, wait a second. We're taping. Okay, so Arthur, do you want to tell us about the song you're going to play?
Were you triggered?
Yes. Yeah. Would you like? I'll have to do a take 4. Now, just yeah. So thank you for delighting us with some song. What's the song you're going to play, Arthur?
You have to keep the clap in, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, this is a song written by Kelly Joe Phelps. I've loved that man for a very long time. Saw him perform anytime he came into Toronto. And he's just an awesome dude, coolest of the coolest people. You know, he influenced people so much that I saw 2 players that play slide, and when they were singing out of the side of their mouth. And I said, "You're a fan of Kelly Joe Phelps?" And they go like, "How did you know?" And I said, "Because you're copying him the way he sings out of the side of his." They said, "Oh my God, I do that. I do mimic him," because he's just like, he's an amazing singer-songwriter. Sean Pynchon is one of them, and Purifay is the other person. We're all really big Kelly Joe Phelps fans. And I learned this song, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe longer, and 1998, I think. So that was a while back, way back in the 1900s.
It was a while back, yes.
And this song's always been close to my heart. It's called Black Crow. He calls it Black Crow Flies. I just call it Black Crow. And this is my version of his song. This goes something like this. I see him black crow fly in the dark, dark night. Howling wind, won't you tell me why? I see him black crow fly in the dark, dark night. Howling wind, won't you tell me why? All I see is a black crow. All I see is a black crow. Cold steel train going gone left too soon. Left me standing howling at the moon on cold steel train, gone left too soon. Left me standing howling at the moon. All I see is a black crow. All I see is a black crow. I know someone put a spell on me. A howling wind, oh, can't you see? I know someone put a spell on me. Eyes wide open, I cannot see. All I see is a black crow. All I see is a black crow. Fly so high, fall so low. Lose my mind thinking about that more. I fly so high, I fall so low. I lose my mind thinking about that more. All I see is a black crow. All I see is a black crow. Howling wind and you tell me so. And all I see is a Kelly Joe Phelps.
All right. Thank you so much.
So good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Laura.
Yes, and you're welcome here anytime, Arthur.
Yeah.
And we encourage everyone to go see the show at the Cameron.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday at
9 to 12.
9 to 12. Okay, great. And
Yeah.
that's in the front room.
Front room. Pay what you can.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you again.
Yeah.